You're valuing them. You're showing them that you care about them. Use magic words. What's the magic word? Ted? What's the magic word?
What's the magic word?
Thank you.
Abracadabra.
Is your name Ted?
It's close.
It's correct. Please and thank you are the magic words.
What was it?
Please and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Manners are are just part of our principles. Just having good manners. You know, it's always amazing when you know, we're out somewhere and Lily says please and thank you. That people look at us like she says please and thank you. I said, of course she says please and thank you. She performs for a fee. Be an attentive listener. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them that way. Now, when we're trying to, when we're salespeople, listening to people will have us help them close them because they're going to tell you what they need. They'll tell you, we really want a fireplace, so don't show them places without fireplaces. Listen to your clients. Listening to your clients will help you set the direction of where they need to go. You are the professional. How many clients think they can do it on their own?
A lot.
Right. You need to demonstrate value by listening to your clients, taking them in, and finding what they need. So Caitlin is going to be taking out clients of mine on Sunday, and she is going to be listening to them and figuring out what they need. And then she's going to come back, and we're going to talk about what she has to do next in terms of what property she has to find. Listening is really important. And when you be an attentive listener, don't just walk by somebody and say, hey, how are you, and then just take off. Wait for the answer. Wait for the answer. Connect with what they're saying. And if you feel you need to restate what you heard, restate it. So, BJ, what I'm hearing you say to me is you really want to make sure we don't have any negative activity or negative conversations today, right?
That's right.
Great.
Thanks, BJ.
Look at that. You got a nice smile out of BJ.
Oh, I'm way past my quota for today.
Remember your customers' names and their preferences.
Oh God, that's hard.
Why it's hard? You're pushing clients.
Chinese food, Japanese food.
How many clients do you have?
In my clients' MLS,
Yeah.
I have 87 all the time. Some of them delete, some of them not, but I have. And I put name, first, last, and exactly what they're looking for, and how I met them, and whatever.
And so, what did you do for the 87 people today? I'm going to
Today
pause
I
my
will
promise.
nothing. I'm buying my cell phone. I'm desperate.
So you have the 87 people, which is fantastic. And
But
person,
they're
That's
like
positive.
for years. It's not like some of them they don't want to buy the home, but they just keep in case because sometimes they change minds.
so did you look at MLS this morning?
Not, yeah.
Okay. What do we do, Kathleen? We walk into the office in the morning. Which one of the early things that we do?
Hot sheets.
Yes.
Check.
Hot
See what
sheets.
happened overnight.
If you have one of these 87 people has got to be thinking about buying something, right?
Yeah, I look at them at 11 p.m. at night, yesterday, 11 p.m., so it's the same.
I put my listings on at 11:45 p.m. on Thursday night. You would have missed it.
So,
The morning. Because by the time, if you look, here's a great example. If you look at it tonight, what's already happened, BJ, with these clients?
They may have already seen it on, well, not, to be fair, not on Prudential site at this point, because it crawls every 24 hours, but if they're on our MLS finder, they'll have already seen it.
Right. So then you're way behind. But if you check it this morning, it just pops on, they may not have seen it. So if we want to take these 87 people and get them to make your closings more than 3, then we have to be servicing our clients. And so you may know all of these things about them, and Jay may not, although he probably should. But I know what Jay's doing this morning is he's looking at MLS, he's seeing what's new, and he's trying to match up these properties with clients. So at the end of the day, we want you to do both, but you need to look at these people. If you have a Brookline 2-bed buyer, I'm sure something came to market in Brookline. In your building, you just sold it. What happened this week?
And if something didn't, you could
I,
technically write
one
and say,
second, what you mean? They automatically, they got email already from me 12 p.m.
Yes.
yesterday.
Who knows it's automatic?
I know it's automatic.
But the clients, they know it's automatic?
No, they don't. They said, Tatiana, thank you, I got email from you. Or I'm pulling the fraud. I said, I already sent you email, but I sent another email. I want to emphasize it's a very good property, whatever.
You and I are going to have fun when I come back on vacation.
where, how long
Are
are
you
you
going on
going for?
vacation?
For 2 weeks.
Just skip the vacation.
So we can do the Chuck challenge, see who writes more deals than me while we're on vacation. But we're going to have fun because we're going to help you take those 87 people, and we're going to help you get deals out of them. and this is gonna be fun. Josh Konoff is gonna love you, because I'm gonna spend more time with you, less time beating up him. Can't say that today, right? All right. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't tell a client you're gonna do something, and then not do it, which I did recently, and Caitlin's gonna clean up my mess next week when she calls this client, because I forgot to do something. Build
Don't beat
trust.
yourself up either.
It's a positive day, you're right. Every time you do something you say you're gonna do, you're building trust, you're putting money in the bank. And you're gonna need it, because what if something happens during a transaction and stuff goes wrong? Then you're gonna have to rely on the savings to say, listen, I know you're not happy about doing this, but you need to do this to move forward and get the transaction done. Pay attention to what's important about your customer. It doesn't matter what you like. It matters what they like. And that's why you want to find out what they like and don't like and what's important. And that's why when you meet a new buyer and you have a buyer meeting, you immediately set up a time to go out with them and see property with them. So you're in the unit. And when you leave the unit, hey, what'd you like about that? What didn't you like about it? Is that kitchen big enough? Hey, I know you told me that gas cooking is really important to you. You only had an electric stove, was that okay? Because once you're there, because they may sit in your office and say they want central air, garage, this, that, and the other thing, but it may not jive with what their price point is. So now that you're in a unit with them, hey, is the bedroom okay? You want to tell people, and write this down, this is the process of elimination, not selection. I have lost a client because I didn't say that. Because she sent me a list of properties she wanted to see. I scheduled those properties, and she didn't like them. She thought that I took her to places that she didn't like, even though they were the ones she picked. Because I didn't do a good enough job saying to her, hey, every time you hate a property, that's great. Because if they hate a property, like, let's say I say, okay, we're going to movies today, and I pick the movie, and you hate the movie. Does that shine on me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you pick.
That's right. So even though we didn't pick in that case, we're still a realtor. They think we have this magic wand. I mean, but part of that's in the buyer meeting. You need to communicate what our value is. In today's electronic internet age, what's the likelihood that we are going to find the property for the buyer?
20%.
Okay, I'll take that number. Therefore, you have to show value in the other things. And telling people this is a process of elimination, not of selection, is absolutely correct. When they hate a property, we now know what they hate about it.
I always say it's the Heisenberg principle of real estate. You know the Heisenberg uncertainty principle? Well, then I'll explain briefly, which is that in order to find like an atom, right? The only way to find it where an atom is to hit it with another atom. And it's in the collision that you've identified where it was. So by looking at something, the act of looking at something actually changes it. And I tell people, regardless of what you want or what you think you want, as you move through the process, as you look at what you think you want, what you want is likely to change somehow. So
That's great.
It's good for the sciencey people.
This is the contact, sales and contact sport. You're gonna be out there doing that. That's cool, I like that. Okay. Don't neglect the follow-up. If you do a great thing and have a great activity or event, but don't follow up with notes or calls or pop-bys, then you lose the whole thing of the event. And that's why writing notes immediately is so important, because when you see somebody, get the note right up, because it loses its effectiveness a week later.
What do you wrote now? By mail or by mail? What right now?
A personal note is by what?
By mail.
Right, with a stamp.
Prefer by
Or
mail,
hand
not by
delivered.
mail at all.
Oh, even better.
If I'm gonna have 100 Days to Greatness in September, you should take the class.
You know, from 8 o'clock in the morning.
8:30, actually.
Once a week, right?
Once a week, yeah. Let me ask you a question. I'm trying to be positive, I will, I promise. 8:30 to 10. You have to come in on Tuesdays for the office meeting at 10 anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you just have to come in a little bit earlier. And you could probably write 6 or 7 transactions during the 100 days. Would that be worth it? If the answer to that question is no, then when I come back from vacation, we can talk further. Because I'm not going to be negative today. I'm only going to be positive. Okay. Don't neglect the
When
follow-up.
are you going on vacation?
What's that?
When are you going on vacation?
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So the point of a personal note, just to remind you, if you need reminding, is what do you do when you write a personal note? What of yourself are you giving?
A moment of acknowledgement.
Time. How long does it take you to send an email?
2 seconds.
DJ probably sends emails while he's sleeping.
I just sent you an email.
But a personal note takes time. And so when you get the personal note in the mail, how do you feel?
Thought about. Yeah,
Right.
it's special.
Right. Exactly. That's, going back to these age-old principles. When Ted was running around, John, as when he was our age, notes was like the common thing. And so that's why we're bringing it back. Right?
Before they even had cars and everything.
That's right. That's right.
Send out the pigeon.
They had to hand deliver it. There was no choice.
But I just saw an article recently, really honestly, where they talked about the fact that nobody sends notes anymore. Nobody writes notes, that everybody's just email or this or that, and that personal,
And we all get inundated with emails,
It's not there,
so it doesn't-
you know?
there's not anything distinctive about
Yeah,
it.
you just delete it
Yeah.
before you.
It's like something, a chore to have to like weed through the email, yeah.
That's right. So personal note takes time. And giving time is your most precious commodity, and sharing that with somebody else will be helpful. Okay. Everybody has their comfort zone. And to grow,
Yeah.
both personally and professionally, you have to come out of your comfort zone. And that means doing things that are comfortable for you. Like getting up earlier, or writing more notes, things like that. And that's, when you expand your comfort zone, do you know what you actually do by doing that? When you go out of your comfort zone, you're expanding your comfort zone, and you're making your comfort zone larger. To survive in this business, you have to be out of your comfort zone, right? So that's what I want you to work on while I'm gone, Tatiana. And maybe the thing to do is what you do is when you start, if you tell me you start work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe what you do tomorrow is start work at 1:45. 15 minutes.
No, it's just today. I got some calls, so I didn't go. I can hear, I will hear.
That's fantastic. It's a good place to be. There are deals in this building.
Hmm.
You know how many walk-ins we get? Now, I will tell you, since I became an owner, I'm not in the rotation of walk-ins. But if I'm the only one here, I'm taking it. I'll tackle Scott and throw him against the wall, but I'm taking it if nobody's here. And I'll still do 2 to 3 closed transactions a year from walk-ins.
Well,
And that's when I'm the only one here.
the one that,
8:30 in the morning,
the one
every
that
day, George.
I felt like what? Why are you singling me out?
Because you're right there.
But I felt like the biggest loser on planet Earth on July 3rd when I was sitting in this office on floor time from 1 to 4. Biggest loser. I was the only one here. And half an hour before my floor time shift was over, the person that I just put the Brook House under me walked in the door.
That's
And
fantastic.
it was like crazy worth it.
So July 3rd to end of August, closed transaction walk-in. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Really good.
I can remember when they walked in, I was like, oh, here we go. And they turned out to be probably the best customers in my modern professional life.
I closed a $1.3 million single-family purchase in Brookline from a walk into the office. In my system for 2 years.
Because if they walk in, they've actually gotten off their behind and taken the initiative.
That's right.
And I just think that's a really good sign.
That's an excellent point.
It's a lot better than somebody who's just like sitting at their computer drinking beer at like
Yeah,
11:30
sending-
at night, like, ooh, that's a neat place, I want to check that out.
That's a good point.
So when I started, I don't know if you remember Dave Bates, one of my predecessors here, and Dave said to me, sometimes Chuck, he's in his office, which is not my office, and he looked up, and whoever the first agent he would see, he'd give the lead to. So what did I do? Kathleen, what do you think I did?
You're there every morning.
Put yourself right.
Put yourself right in
Door.
that desk, right in the doorway, so you'd be the first person he saw.
Right, so Caitlin's desk is where I sat. And so every day, I would be there in the office by 8 o'clock, and when Dave popped his head up like an ostrich, I was there smiling, and I got the lead.